met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Like Millet might have won this. He did by 2/100ths of a second over Brandon. That S4 guy off turn 4 for the final time sees the checkered flag. It waves. It belongs to the 315. Checkered flag. Contact, and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short... Among the world's most modern motorsports facilities, Kansas Speedway opened for business in 2001. some 15 miles west of Kansas City, Kansas, under the ownership of International Speedway Corporation. Originally consisting of a 1.5 tri-oval with uniform 15-degree banking, the facility underwent a major revamp in 2012 that resulted in progressive banking of the oval, 17 to 20 degrees, along with the addition of a 6-turn road course incorporating a twisty infield section and all but a few hundred feet of the oval. The facility has permanent seating for 72,000 spectators, along with a hotel and casino featuring more than 100,000 square feet of gaming space. Kansas Speedway has hosted a variety of motorsports events over the years, including all 3 NASCAR Premier Series, ARCA, the IndyCars Grand Am Sports Car Series, which of course utilizes the road course, and then lighting was completed in 2011, and they just might be on tonight. And tonight, it's the No Bull Racing Series, Kansas City 165, and it's coming up next on HBR TV. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, joined in the broadcast booth by Eric Dotson. Welcome back, Eric, and how are you?
I'm good, Steve. How about you?
Doing well myself. Always look forward to Sunday nights to cover the action here in the No Bull Racing Series. Tonight it's round 6 here at Kansas City, the Kansas City 165. Practice underway here. Just a few minutes remain. Of course, top of the board right now, it's the 24 of Jeremy Paris. His time at 30.98, but close behind it's the 315 of Zach Millett at 31.04. Brian McCann, Kason Plott, Alfie Charon Jr., the top 5 in the session with just under 3 minutes remaining. It's going to be a fun one tonight. It could kind of go either way. I know we had some caution-related issues last week that we had to deal with, but we got through it. But tonight could kind of go either way. It could be green to checker, which we could see. Do you think we're going to go along those lines, or is it going to be a little more last week?
I don't think it'll be quite as bad as last week, but I don't think we go green to checker.
Over, under, let's say 3 cautions.
3 counting the stage or no?
Counting the stage, yeah, we'll go counting the stage.
I'll take under.
Okay.
These guys, this is kind of like Vegas, where we've already been, and, I don't think we had a lot of cautions there. I think if we do get one, it's either going to be early in the race or late in the race.
Yeah, late in the race seems like a good possibility. You got guys kind of scratching and clawing for that extra position. Could be low on tire. Grip, I guess you could go with. What's the word I'm looking for? I've had a couple of days off, Eric. Trying to get back in the swing of things here.
Yeah, I mean, and talking to some of the drivers, tire wear is pretty critical here. So you're absolutely right. I mean, we get a couple yellow flags or something. The pit strategy with the fresh tires could play a big part. We seen in the NASCAR race today, Truex trying to gamble with some tires and didn't quite work out for him.
I wouldn't say it didn't pay off as far as him getting a win, but it didn't really hurt him as far as his finishing position. I don't recall exactly where he ended up, but it wasn't too terrible. It didn't hurt him overall. If he didn't have the opportunity to win the race, that gave him the best chance for a solid finish. Tonight's fuel load, full fuel load, 100%. Fuel window, 42 to 45 laps if we are under the green the whole time. That 45 is attainable, but only if you guys are really trying to save and kind of baby the throttle, take care of what's in the tank, and not use more than necessary. Go out there and abuse the thing, you're probably looking more on that 42 lap mark. 2 sets of tires over the wall. No fast repairs. It's kind of been the theme all season. No fast repairs. Kind of don't want to call anybody by name here, but weeds out the week, I guess you could say.
I think it makes these guys be a lot more conservative and maybe think a little bit more before they might try something that they would if they did have a fast repair.
100%, which it does help, and honestly, I do think it makes the racing a bit better. Looks like Will Hewitt's going to be first to roll here for qualifying. Will, the number 33 Silverado out of Mayfield, New York. Few chatters in the stream chat already. Of course, Haley, she's got the pole position tonight. Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Keaton Burnett should be in this race. He's classified in the points, but where's Keaton? He says he's just here to watch Fahey wreck. Oh, I'm just here to wreck Fahey. Maybe he is here in the... We haven't seen him yet. And then, of course, Chris Fahey. Who is it?
Keaton, don't be putting nothing on text, because if something happens comes back to it, we got proof.
Now there's evidence.
Yeah, don't be texting it, Keaton.
Will Hewitt up top, a little bit of a wiggle, keeps his foot in the throttle. At the stripe, Will Hewitt 31.60 for lap 1. Real quick out of the pits. Real quick with a new paint scheme courtesy of Fahey Race Wraps.
That's a good looking paint scheme. I say that about a lot of them, but I really like this one.
It's not pink, it's salmon. Little change up into the schedule of things tonight. We were running a 5-minute qualifying session and then a 5-minute warm-up. Tonight it's just a 10-minute qualifying session. Likely more than we need, but it does allow us to take that needed break to get some commercials, pay some bills, get that stuff taken care of and out of the way. Don't worry, we won't go just yet. Real quick across the stripe. Right now, Brian McCann fastest at 31.21. 31.59 for Quick. Ryan Rose just finishes up 31.22.6 or 22.6. He's third fast on the board for now. Alfie Charon finishes up 31.32.
Yeah, these guys are a lot faster on this second lap. Well, I say that, and then Brandon Maverick pops up, and he wasn't.
Neil Quick goes P1, 31.18. Carson Conway at the stripe for his second time around. 31.346 for the 72 Country Designs entry. Case and Plot on the track, the number 19. Cat Recovery Systems Inc. Services, Inc. Brian McCann, Thomas McMullen running virtually the same lap time. Sure, it carries out to the thousandths of a second. 31.62 for Plot the first time by, 22nd fast. I expect that to get a little bit faster here the next time around. Some fast guys out here still left to run. Channing Ballou being one of them. Jeremy Paris was also very fast in practice. Chris Mathis is always a contender. Case and Plot at the line. Top of the board, 31.157 for Case and Plot, pole position. Channing Blue. He's got the wrong number on the truck tonight, but we fixed it in the system as far as the timing tower. So 26 on the door, 9 in the timing and scoring. Baloo goes third quick, a 31.18, same as Neil Quick.
I think Neil's number might be messed up too.
Yeah, Neil's got the 27 on his, but it's the 2 on the door. It should be the 2, I believe. $31,205 for Paris, puts it P4. Matt Goodell finishes up, he's 15th. Few drivers have yet to take a time thus far. Drew Blaze, Doug Wysocki, Mike Fahey, Justin Johnson, Tristan Sykes, Mark Thomas back in action. 33 truck field tonight. We are past the 5-minute mark, though. We're going to jump out and get a break out of the way. We'll be back with our starting grid after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Kansas Speedway, the Kansas City 165. Your starting grid on the pole position. In the number 19, it's Kason Plott. Lap time 31.157 seconds to his outside with Quick Esports. It is the 2/27 of Neil Quick. Second row, it's the 9 of Channing Ballou with Speed Clinic Racing. That Reaper Speed Labs entry rolling from the second row. Jeremy Paris, another Speed Clinic Racing entry. The number 24 starts 4th. Brian McCann in the 3 will start 5th. Chris Mathis, the number 54, starts from the 6th position. 7th goes to Thomas McMullen. 8th starting position is the number 89 from Holler Boys Racing. It's Brian Rose. Starting 9th, the 315, Zach Millett. Will Hewitt starts in the 10th spot with Kevin McCann starting 11th. Mark Truxell's going to roll from the 12th starting position in the 5. Keaton Burnett rolls 13th. Chris Goins 14th. Matt Goodell 15th. 16th, Brian Torsha. Brandon Mefford 17th. Alfie Sharon 18th. Chris Mefford 19th. 20th, Alan DeFries. Noah Rainwater 21st. Steve Sharrock 22nd. Carson Conway 23rd. Eddie Rose 24th. Jesse Redding 25th. 26th, Eric Beadle. Chris Elliott 27th. 28th, Drew Blaze. Justin Johnson 29th. Mike Fahey going to start 30th. Tristan Sykes will roll from the 31st position. Doug Wysocki 32nd. And Mark Thomas in the 50 truck. He'll start from the 33rd position. Shotgun on the field today. It's your starting grid here for the Kansas City 165. Extended the green or here, extended the yellow. Should be going to green one more time around. We'll be racing here from Kansas Speedway.
Who you going to take in this one, Steve?
Lordy, lordy. You know, I'm going to go Jeremy Paris, the number 24 truck.
Something's just telling me go with Mark Truxell tonight.
Mark Truxell. Not a bad pick. He's the type that'll surprise you once in a while.
Yeah, Mark, I know I got a little jinx going if something happens. Don't come hunt me down. Definitely some fast guys out here tonight. I mean, it's what I love about this league. We have all kinds of drivers who can win tonight.
We're going to see them all perform tonight, that's for sure. Again, fingers crossed here on a nice clean race. Hopefully not a repeat of last week. But again, with this place as big as it is, might go green to checker without a yellow flag. We'll see. iRacing official iRacing pace truck about to pull down off the banking. Get ready to go under the green flag here. Barney's got it in hand.
Green flag.
Green flag waves were underway from Kansas Speedway.
Ooh, somebody dropping to the bottom. Not sure what happened there.
Somebody went and didn't get the message, and the guy's behind. Kason Plott out front, Channing Ballou up to the 2nd position.
Man, that's 9 and 19. They're tough when they're out front together.
All these guys, really. This top 5, top 6, all of them going to be something to deal with before this one's said and done. On a turn 4, complete lap number 1. Kason Plott's going to lead it.
McCann drop them back a little bit on that bottom side.
Three laps in, Kason Plott still the leader. Channing Ballou in the 9, right to the back bumper of the 19, off of turn number 4. They are teammates, but Channing is not going to be bashful about trying to sneak his way around and take this top spot away.
Yeah, they're breaking out to a little bit of a lead over Neil Quick, which he's battling right now with Chris Mathis for the third position. Looked like Chris had a good run until they hit the backstretch, and Neil Quick got that run off the corner.
Battle for position between Jeremy Paris and Brian McCann. This is out of turn number 4. McCann on the bottom of that black and gold number 3. Paris up top, the blue and gray number 24. Both of these machines look like they're just in testing liveries, but either way, they're still going to be quick. Brian McCann running the Smokey and the Bandit colors.
Paris may make a move here on Chris Mathis. I thought we were about to see 3 wide racing right there.
Oh, there's plenty of time for it. Only 6 laps in here from Kansas.
Chris Mathis running a lot higher line right now than Jeremy Paris.
As soon as you say that, he goes all the way down to the grass on the apron.
Yeah, and in the turns, he falls in line. He was a little bit higher, but not like
Channing Ballou almost in the wall off of 2. If he didn't get it, it was inches.
Doesn't look like it slowed him down yet.
Well, I don't think he lifted. Now, there was no win penalty provided pre-race for tonight's event, but there will be a win penalty assessed to Brian McCann after the stage. He will receive an EOL.
I think Blue's going to start battling here anytime. I think he's about fed up riding around in second. This 9 and 19 definitely been tough to beat this year.
All these Speed Clinic guys come in here, they've got a lot of pace. You give them some clean air, put the truck in the wind. Very difficult to track them down unless, well, you're one of those guys.
Looks like the group behind them, led by Neil Quick, may be catching up to them here.
Watching this battle here, Mark Truxell and Chris Goins. Will Hewitt's going to try and make it a 3-way battle. Tucks in behind the 28 of Goins. Thought about going to the middle there, thought better of it. Truxell goes way to the bottom. A little loose on entry was the 5. Not sure what happened here with Kevin McCann, but he is listed as in pit lane. He's only got 9 laps completed. He's been there for quite a while. Continue to watch this battle here. Will Hewitt made the pass on Truxell. He's trying to get this done here with the 28 of Chris Goins.
I think it's safe to say it's harder to pass on that bottom side.
You know, I watched this a little bit on, I think it was Wednesday with the Black Horizon Truck Series they ran here in their event. Very similar setup as far as the laps were concerned. Just about 10 laps further they ran, but we did see that quite a bit. Guys were able to pin somebody on the bottom and complete a pass that way.
And don't stop and mark truck, so he's going to dive to the bottom and try to take his position from Will Hewitt.
Yeah, and that's because he's got Chris Mefford knocking on the door, too. He's like, you know what, I can't sit here and let this happen. I just got to get going because Mefford's going to eat him up, too. He's not careful. The 84 machine, Chris Mefford there, the Spartan Logistics Silverado.
He may be able to complete it here and get up in front of Hewitt. I don't know. It's going to be close.
Top 4 drivers still single file. Ballou 0.2 of a second behind Case and Plot. Battle continues behind Chris Goins.
Ooh, Medford looked like he was going to hit that wall.
.33, a little loose out of 2. You saw a bit of a wiggle, nothing significant.
Looks like McCann's back out there as Chris Goins is coming up on him.
Still not sure what the issue with Kevin McCann was. He's listed 33rd. He's 3 laps down. Noticing Brian Rose isn't up there either. He's running 30th.
It looked like, I couldn't see that good, but it looked like McCann may have had some right side damage. Maybe he scraped the wall on the right side.
The right front definitely damaged on the number 42 Silverado. Our eyes back out front here. Case and Plot still the leader. Channing Ballou in the 2nd spot. Neil Quick 3rd. Jeremy Paris, Brian McCann the top 5. Things unchanged position-wise with these top 3. In fact, Ballou has lost a little bit of ground to the 19, maybe a truck length and a half, possibly 2. Closes the gap just a bit out of 4, but not in position, not close enough to really make a challenge for the lead, at least not right now.
He may have to try harder than he wants if the 2 and Neil Quick gets up there and starts putting pressure on him.
Thomas McMullen taking a spot here from Keaton Burnett. That's for the 7th position. Keaton sniffing the draft. Might repass the 02 into 1. Maybe not. We'll see if he makes the move. He does take a look to the bottom. McMullen real loose on entry. Saw the back of that truck hung right out.
Yeah, I thought he was going to put that back into the wall. He done a great job there.
You got to think there might be some lap time to be had on the top side. Kind of run that Larson line, but again, the trade-off is you make one mistake on entry. Going to put the right side in the safer barrier.
Thomas is right there. I mean, he's right up against it, so complete confidence in his driving ability right there.
Certainly making it work. Checking on some guys deeper in the field right now. Tristan Sykes is running in the 14th spot, but remember, he started, I think, 31st or 32nd, something to that effect. He's up 17 spots. Big time mover so far. Same can be said for Mark Thomas. Remember, he was shotgun on the field. He's up into the 16th spot. Interestingly, 17 spots as well to the good. Justin Johnson kind of in between. He started 29. He's up to P15. You got Drew Blaze running in the 17th spot. Didn't even recognize the truck. Slightly different this time.
Drew's always switching it up on us.
Drew's definitely got a new paint scheme there. He's even got Eric Dotson agency on the side of that truck.
I like it.
Little
Let's
Track
go.
Bar Media, LSR Gaming X, HBR TV. I like it. Another Fahey Race Wrap specialty. It's a good looking truck. Meanwhile, this battle continuing between Drew Blaze and Mark Thomas. Mark's going to lose out on this battle. Blaze is going to slide up into the 16th spot. Really, this whole group here, Tristan Sykes, Justin Johnson, Drew Blaze, Mark Thomas, these are our biggest movers of the day so far. Mark Thomas kind of the interloper in the group. The rest of them all Lone Star Racing drivers. Taking a peek back out front once again, Case and Plot still in command here at Kansas Speedway. Channing Ballou runs P2, 4/10 of a second the advantage for Plot now. Starting to stretch things out just a bit.
This top five has really pulled away from everybody else so far.
It's kind of
I
what
know
we're
they're a
seeing.
little speed.
Again, Brian McCann, he's still running in that 5th spot. It's right where he started, but there's not a ton of incentive for him to go up there and beat on the truck to try and get better positioning for the stage, because he's going to have to go to the tail the start of the 2nd stage. Again, his win penalty to be served. Paris, though, is closing in on Ballou. This might be a battle, whether they like it or not.
Oh, Neil Quick can pass Blue. I don't know if he missed that.
Neil like a ninja with that one. Let's go back and take a look at it. See how Neil Quick got around Channing Ballou for the 2nd spot. I don't know if Channing just checked up on a 2, but all of a sudden Quick was there.
For it to look like that, I think something had to happen.
I want to look at it here, slow it down a bit from the blimp. Oh, Channing got in the wall. Back it up a hair more.
Ooh.
Just slid it up the racetrack. Got the right rear into the fence, and it just sucks you right into that safer barrier. I mean, you see how smooth Channing really is, though. He gets into the fence there, and it's almost unnoticeable other than the change in momentum. Neil's able to turn it hard left. You see, he's dirt tracking it through. He doesn't want to get into the 9, but he's going to take advantage and get the spot. Channing saw it happening, too, and he swings out to the right to make room for Neil. Very aware drivers in both circumstances. That avoided a caution for sure.
Absolutely. That just goes to show the experience of Blue. I mean, a lot of guys get these trucks in the wall and they just jerk it right off and end up coming 4, 5, 6 car lengths down the track and taking someone out. So great job to him for that.
Case and Plot, big time lead now. Neil Quick back under fire from Channing Ballou. Channing certainly has that pace, and we're 3 wide. Not for position. You got Kevin McCann on the bottom. He's trying to hug that white line the best he can. Does a great job at it. Drove it in deep, still trying to make the move. Neal slides back up the track, but Channing has a little bit better run out of 2. He might try this again, getting into turn 3.
I'm surprised Neal's giving him that top line, but I mean, Neal's making that bottom line work in the turns.
Seems like Channing's got a big-time run here. He might try and make this work still. Oh, man, he drove it in deep. Oh, and he gets the wall again.
It ain't worth it, Channing. Too early, buddy.
7 laps shy of the stage break, so he's at this point, you know what, let's just full send, see what we can get. We do pay points for the stages, but Jeremy Paris, he's going to take advantage of the 9's mistake. He's going to go on by. So is Brian McCann. Both these drivers hungry for these stage finishes, trying to get some more points out of the deal. Channing probably getting some frustration in there, trying to make his way back towards the front, was trying to get around Neal quick, but in 2 instances now, he's put himself in the outside wall just enough to screw up the momentum. Oh, he's all over the back bumper. The 24 and Jeremy Paris. Remember, they are teammates. Plot still with a 2-second lead over the 2 of Neal Quick. Again, it says the 27 in the timing tower. Trying to get that square for next week. Channing still working that higher side. Brings it down about half a lane, though. Gives himself a little bit more wiggle room. Takes the position back from Jeremy Paris. Does it cleanly. So top 5 currently Case and Plot. Neal Quick, Brian McCann, Channing Ballou, Jeremy Paris. Further down the line, Will Hewitt, Keaton Burnett. 84 of Chris Mefford. Chris Goins is 9th. Zach Millett, P10. Haven't heard a whole lot from Millett. He's actually down 1 position from where he started tonight.
One thing we've learned this season, it doesn't matter how the first stage looks. It doesn't matter till it's at the end. I mean, we've had guys that we thought was going to run away with it, and that second stage comes out a new winner.
Got Millert in the stream chat. Says, this the worst racing ever? This track is garbage for flat horsepower trucks. Well, yes, I would kind of agree to a certain extent. We've had some pretty good racing here. But the other thing you want to keep in mind is we're only on our first run. Tires are a huge deal here. If you've got guys that are even 4-lap newer tires than the guys you're running down, there's a massive difference in lap time, and they'll run them down in a hurry. So hopefully we get a chance to see some strategy. That's going to make a big difference. But yes, throwing an extra 50 to 100 horsepower in these trucks would certainly help things. Don't see it happening. It says street stocks at Lowe's is this. Yeah, but street stocks at Charlotte Motor Speedway is a blast. Chris Goins and Mark Truxell battling for position. This is the last spot as far as paying the points for the stage. Chris Goins has it for now, but now a nose out in front for Truxell. While this all goes down, Tristan Sykes is going to try and sneak in.
Mark just can't combat that run off the turns, off the corners.
Lap 40 here. We should get the stage caution here any minute. Case and Plot well in command of the lead. 3 seconds back to Neal Quick. He should lock up the stage here, no problem. We're going to continue to watch this battle for the 10th spot, the final points paying position. Truxell with a nose out in front. And he's going to get it. Stage break. Mark Truxell noses across the line ahead of Chris Goins, secures some points. It's going to be Kaysen Plott, Neil Quick, Brian McCann, Channing Ballou, Jeremy Paris, top 5. Then Will Hewitt, Keaton Burnett, Chris Mefford, Zach Millett, Mark Truxell, the top 10.
I feel like Keaton may have came out of nowhere for this top 10 in this stage.
Keaton started back in the 13th spot. He's up 6 positions.
One thing I noticed in the timing is Brian Rose had dropped back to 30th, and he had worked his way back up. So I'm not sure if maybe he got loose and lost the momentum or what happened there.
I'm kind of wondering if it had something to do with Kevin McCann. I know Kevin ended up having to go to the pits, and he lost a handful of laps, I think 4 to be specific. We didn't see anything that indicated there was a problem between those two, but my suspicion makes me think that it could have been the case. Again, Brian started up towards the front of the field. Kevin McCann also further up the field. So those guys being back in the pack the way that they were makes me think something may have happened between them. But field coming down pit lane here. First pit stops of the evening. Stage break here at Kansas Speedway. Kaysen Plott clean in the box. Neil Quick, Channing Ballou, all 3 trucks go up on the jacks. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel, I think, for everyone up and down pit lane. Some drivers down and away. Kaysen Plott, hammer down. So we're going to see if we can pull Kaysen into the broadcast booth and get a word with our stage winner. Kaysen, it's Steve and Eric in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Doing good, sir. Congratulations on a dominating stage win. Walk us through how the truck feels and your plans for the rest of this race to hopefully secure a checkered flag.
Well, it all goes down to basically who can be out front after we move to the top. Might be able to pass once everybody moves to the top, but it's got to be early. So it's kind of one of them things. It's whoever has the fresh air. So it definitely doesn't go back to driving ability, but I mean it's a little bit on the free side for once. So definitely like that. So get to slide around a little bit and try to save that right rear as much as possible.
Well, it's been a fun one to watch so far. You've been the fastest guy out there to this point. Hopefully that continues. Kaysen, thanks for talking to us. We're going to send you back to your channel, Speed Clinic Racing, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for chatting.
Thank you.
It's Kaysen Plott, your stage winner here from Kansas Speedway. We're going to jump out and get a break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back to Kansas Speedway, finishing up the stage break. So far, our only caution period of the evening. We've got Terremotos, I hope I'm saying it right in the stream chat, probably one of our Argentinians from the GT3 series, saying, Buena transmission, saludos de sede Argentina. I'm going to guess that means great broadcast from Argentina? I'm guessing. Just trying to break it down here. My Spanish is not the greatest. But thanks for chiming in anyway. We've got a couple stream chatters already checking in from different countries. That is a bonus as we have gone international here at HBR TV.
If we don't know what it is, we can make it whatever we want.
Google Translate helps. Pace truck is off. Kason Plott in command of the field here, holds them down. In the throttle, we're back underway from Kansas Speedway. Kason Plott, Channing Ballou.
At the beginning of this race, these two got out and got hooked up together and pulled away from the field. We'll see if maybe they can do that again, or if Jeremy Paris is going to try to prevent that from happening.
Well, I think we're going right back to deja vu mode here, but Channing Ballou making a move to the inside in turn number 3 for the lead on Kason Plott. We were just saying it was kind of deja vu. Those two kind of tucked together here, but first lap's lead of the day goes to Channing Ballou in the 9. Cross the stripe, new leader. Did get some confirmation here in the stream chat. He says, yep, good transmission. Greetings from Argentina. So I was close. Appreciate you guys checking in, man. That's awesome. Zach Millett battling with Neil Quick for the 5th position. Sorry, that was Will Hewitt. Quick is just ahead of Millett. 33 of Will Hewitt up top. Top 4 all in a line. Top 6 really all in a line, and then some. If Keith Burnett, now he's making a move for position. This is also on Will Hewitt. Hewitt up top side. We were talking about how the low lane wasn't the greatest place to be, but now we've seen passes kind of take place from that low side. It seems to not be very helpful late in the run, and Will Hewitt's in the fence. Scrapes the right side of the truck in the safer barrier. I don't know if he just lost his turn-in point. What happened with the 33, but he's going to lose a bunch of track position out of this. Slips to the 10th, 11th position. Thomas McMullen coming with a head of steam. He's going to go on by the top side. So difficult to recover after that. It's almost like having to check up on a super speedway. You just kind of get freight trained.
Hopefully he doesn't have any damage that prevents him from getting back to the front.
Truck looks all right. I mean, it's kind of what we saw Channing Ballou do a couple of times. He did it twice. And really, the right side of his truck still looked pretty good. Might have got away with one. Certainly hurt the track position for Will Hewitt as he sits back in the 14th spot. But he's got some pace and plenty of time to make up for it. 3 wide just ahead. McMullen Sherrick. Didn't catch the other truck as they already get through it. Double back up. Battle for the lead up front again. Channing Ballou had it. Plott's going back to the bottom to try and take it away. Not quite clear, but at the stripe, Plott's going to be your race leader. The battle continues down into 1. Paris and Quick going to try and close in from this as well.
And they're probably loving this, Paris and Quick. That way these two guys can maybe wear their tires out a little faster and get them a lot hotter.
I think what Channing had learned in that first stage, again, I'm just kind of guessing here, just from what I saw, Kason was able to lead that entire stage and start to pull away. But even if you got close to him, it's very difficult to make the pass. Channing is even seeing that right now on the newer tires. But I think he's thinking, if I get out in front, getting some clean air, that gives me the advantage. Even if Kason might have a tick more pace, it's hard to say right now. Being out front is kind of the preferred place to be.
Yeah, I mean, we heard it in the stage 1 interview that the clean air is the best place to be, so everybody's going to want to be there. These two's not quitting, though, as Blue crosses him over and going into 1 side by side.
Great racing here at the front of the field for the lead. They have not given it up, and maybe a little bit of contact door to door out of turn 2. Kason's going to lose this spot. Channing slides back into P1.
it'd be hard to believe these two are teammates door to door on lap 53.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, all these Speed Clinic guys, I mean, that's the name of their team, and it's fitting. They're all very, very fast. I don't think we had David Bradford here tonight, but nonetheless, it's fitting. These guys are quick. They know what they're doing. They know how to race each other side by side at speed for the lead without wrecking each other. Doing a great job of it here thus far. The other thing is they're used to each other. They know how one another races. Yes, it may be aggressive, but they got a lot of trust in that other guy, and that's a bonus. It really makes it so that you can battle out for these lead positions. Close quarters, door to door, even banging fenders mid-corner.
Blue looks like he's in control of the lead now, but that don't mean much from what we've seen tonight.
Back to Mark Truxell in the top 7, then there's a big gaggle of trucks all in behind. Truxell running P7.
This is what I like, Steve. Coming out of the turn just now, you seen, half of them up high, half of them down low, finding different lines. That's what I love about these guys is everybody finding a different line and finding what works for them.
You know what's interesting, too, about that is you would think that guys with a little bit more of a dirt background would be better suited at a place like this, that you've got multiple options for lanes. I mean, it's not quite like Las Vegas or California Speedway as far as how wide the place is, but there's different places you can put the truck, and it can be fast. And if you're not having success in one lane, you can change things up and try another. Dirt guys are real accustomed to having to do that. So I'm just kind of surprised to see Drew Blaze back in the 15th spot, albeit he is up 13 positions. Drew does have a bit of a background in dirt racing. And this thing's not over yet. He does continue to climb forward.
Ron Rose trying to fight Drew Blaze off right here.
Bunch of guys in this group. Drew Blaze, Mike Fahey, Thomas McMullen, and Mark Thomas. Fahey with the big country coffee machine. Coffee machine.
We've seen Brian Rose change his lane a couple times. He's went low, went high. I think he's just trying to search for something right now.
Seems to be working, though. He's running kind of the middle of the corner. Does kind of arc it back down low to the bottom line. Gets out in front of the one of Blaze, but Blaze might be setting him up here. Did seem to close the ground pretty considerably there off at turn 4. Lap 60 of 110. 5 laps past halfway. Blaze and Thomas McMullen battling for position. Blaze has the 15th spot. McMullen trying to take it away. Channing Ballou still out in the lead, 0.6 of a second over the 19 of Plott. Then it's Neil Quick, Jeremy Paris, Zach Millen up in the top 5. Oh, we got a car in a wall. Steve Cherrick possibly. It looks like it might have been the 0-0. And he had a big O. Same thing we saw with Thomas McMullen, I think it was. Or Will Hewitt, actually. Will got into the fence and lost a ton of track position. Cherrick kind of in the same position. It looks like he's going to be okay. A little bit of right front damage on that F-150. Currently sits back in the 18th spot. Brian McCann in the 19th spot. Remember, McCann had to serve the EOL penalty at the beginning of this stage. Had to go all the way to the back. He's made his way towards the front. Almost halfway up the field.
Ooh.
We might have some trouble here. We do. Car spinning. Caution on the speedway. Trying to find exactly who it was. One of the thunderclap machines involved. No rainwater. Yes, it was the 05.
I think it all started with the 00.
Remember, Steve Cherick in that 00, another thunderclap entry, had gotten into the fence just a few laps before and lost some track position. Let's see what we can see here. Oh, yeah, big time. Let's back that up and slow it down a bit. So we'll watch here Steve Cherick trying to get a decent angle on this. 00, the Thunderclap F-150. He's about a lane up here. He's got Mark Thomas. He's closing in. He's going to try and push it 3 wide here. I don't know if he realizes the McCann machine is in the bottom, and he might have just slid the nose here. Comes back down the track after getting the safer barrier. He's going to make pretty significant contact. I think that might have been... Who was that? That was the 99 of Tristan Sykes. So Cherick still here below the line. Jesse Redding starting to come up, unsure what's going on with the 00, but doesn't see the 05 of Rainwater coming to the outside.
Yeah, I think the 21 just got out of the throttle, and because you could see the flame shoot out of the side.
Well, he definitely checked up, but if you look, see if I can get a better angle on it here. Watch the 21. So left sides are right on the white line here. He definitely checks up, but now he's starting to come up off that line while the 05 is coming on by to the right. Obviously, Rainwater had some room to his right side to make that pass cleanly, given the slow truck down the bottom, but I don't think Jesse saw him coming to the high side.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
Oh, first
and
caution.
All that's happening in real time too. So I mean, it's not like they get the time to look at it like we do on the replays.
100%. Now, we had some takers and we had some not takers. There's top 3, Mark Truxell, Carson Conway, Alan DeFries, the non-takers. Eric's picked Mark Truxell out in front, going to lead some laps here, but we heard some guys talking about in practice that even a 4-lap difference in tires was like night and day. As it sits right now, we're looking at almost 20-lap difference between new and old. So these guys that stayed out, Carson Conway did opt to pit anyway, his second time around. I think he realized that he was going to be in trouble. So he's in the pits. Truxell and DeFries, they've made their bed, and it looks like they're going to choose to sleep in it. This could be an interesting restart. Again, hopefully these guys can get to the throttle without spinning the tires. Don't want to wad up the field here just from that.
I mean, I think everybody's going to have to pit again, no matter what. I mean, I think they had 2 sets of tires tonight.
2 sets over the wall.
So, I mean, this may not be a bad
And honestly,
gamble.
They might be able to make it to the end on fuel. If they baby it enough, for 44 laps, I think 45 would be the final lap from right now. Pace car lights are still on, so this could be right at the end of the fuel window for these guys. If they can save just enough, they might make it. Remember, 42 to 45 laps was the anticipated window.
Wonder if anyone took tires on this stop. I'm thinking that they probably did.
And honestly, Eric, once we go back to green, it's going to be about 42 to 43 laps, so it's go time for these guys. I think they're all done pitting unless we get another caution. Now, if we get a green-white checker, we're all in trouble. They're going to have to all pit.
Well, I think Mark and Alan are definitely going to have to pit no matter what.
Oh, those two, 100%. Yeah, their last stop at lap 42, they're going to need another caution to come out for them to take any advantages. And honestly, if it does happen, they've still got a set of tires over the wall. So, yes, they need to stop one more time, but if they're blessed with a caution, this could really work to their advantage. You got to wonder who took tires, who didn't. You kind of look through the line here. There's a lot of drivers that pit for fuel only here and didn't take tires. Looks like Zach Millett did take the tires. Will Hewitt, Alfie Charon, Chris Goins, they're banking on this going green the rest of the way, but if it doesn't, they're in trouble. Pace truck is off. Let's watch the restart here. Carefully tiptoeing on the throttle. A little wiggle from the 5, but he gets it going. Back underway from Kansas.
It's what I love, Steve. It's strategy game. So many different strategies.
You know, we talked about Miller in the stream chat. Talking about how just stick around, we might see some strategy play out, and it's already begun here at lap 68, Kansas Speedway. Strategy at play. Kenny Blue, though, he goes back to the point here. Mark Truxell topside in the middle of the second row, 3 wide. Case and Plott, the meat and the sandwich. DeFries up top. Jeremy Paris on the bottom. Plott tucks back in behind Blue. It's a Speed Clinic Racing 1, 2, 3 to the bottom for now, but Plott looking up the middle, trying to go for the lead. Not enough room to make it stick.
Come on, Plott. Don't take it 3 wide there, sir.
Oh, these guys are not done wrecking. Oh, there we go. Woo. Paris into Will Hewitt. Caution on the Speedway.
How was your car?
Now,
I think that all started maybe with Plott getting in the Truxell, maybe everybody checking up, because I seen Truxell sideways.
could have been the case. Might have been a friendly push, but got everybody kind of out of sorts. But now's the question for Truxell. Again, he didn't stop. So now he's got an opportunity. We've only gone a few laps. Not even a few, maybe a couple. But I think Truxell's got to take the opportunity now to get this fuel and get tires. You can only push your luck so far. We're Kansas, not Vegas. Let's take a look, see if we can figure out what exactly happened. Well, that's not going to do it. Yeah, it's picking up the wreck here a little late. Let's back things up. You said you thought you saw it was Case and Plott and Truxell coming together?
Yeah, I think they got together in front of all this, and maybe somebody checked up.
Well, here's the replay. Case and Plott, the number 19 in the middle. Truxell topside. Channing slides up in front of the 5. Channing gets really loose. I don't know if Mark might have just checked up there. Oh, definite some contact. A lot of netcode contact, it looks like. Kaysen saves it, but it gets everybody panicked. Paris goes to the bottom. There might have been contact from real quick, just everybody checking up. Paris comes down, gets Will Hewitt. We're going to have to watch this from Brian Rose's onboard because he had to snake his way through a disaster.
Yeah, to me it looks like maybe everybody checked up when Plott kind of had that contact with Truxell.
We're going to watch it in real time, on board with Brian Rose.
He didn't lead.
Nope. Definitely not. So, Channing Ballou, your race leader. Zach Millett now up to P2. Truxell hangs on to P3. Still not pitting. Let's see if he comes down this time. No, stays out. He's playing his cards and keeping them close to the vest.
Well, I mean, if, we go 15, 20 more laps and have a caution and he goes in and slaps 4 fresh tires on there, I think, he's the one to beat here.
Well, looking at it, Channing Ballou's last stop was lap 64, but it was 7 seconds. I don't think he took tires. Brian Rose didn't take tires. Neither did Keaton Burnett, Chris Mefford, Drew Blaze, Mike Fahey, Thomas McMullen, Justin Johnson, Eric Beadle. They all did not take tires on that last round of stops. So kind of same would apply for them. They've saved a set as well. With Mark now, it's just a matter of fuel. If this thing does go to the end, he's going to have to make a green flag stop, and that's just going to be a coffin nail for the 5.
Zach Millett is the one who's saying, let's go green, boys. Stay out of each other. He took the 4 fresh tires, you said, and he's in second position. So, I mean, if this stays green flag, the 315 of Millett's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, 100%. Just trying to look who else might have had 4 here. Brian McCann's on 4. Alfie Charon's on 4. Mark Thomas. Carson Conway. Neil Quick. Now, Neil Quick, he pit under this caution and took his 4. He's not gambling as much as some of these other guys are. He's like, I'm not going to chance this. He doesn't want to get stuck without taking that set. When you only got 2 sets over the wall, you don't want to be in a position where, man, I wonder where I would have finished this race if I managed to get down pit lane and bolted those on versus if I just stay out. You don't want to leave a set over the wall, especially when you've got low tire counts to begin with. Some series you run 4 or 5 sets in a similarly length race. It takes a lot of that tire strategy and throws it out the window. These guys are getting it done on 2 sets.
Well, I think it's a good thing to do it like this. I mean, because if you had an extra set and there was a late caution, people at the back would get tires, and if you stayed out, they would just blow by you. I think this makes it more even.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch that for the broadcast, but it also forces guys to make decisions throughout the race. Do I take them now? Do I wait? How's it looking? What's this race going to look like here in the next 30 laps? Are we going to get another yellow? Is it going to stay green? I don't know. We're going to find out. Pace truck is down. Barry the flagman with the green in hand. It waves. We're back underway from Kansas Speedway. Channing Ballou in the throttle. A good restart for the 9. Zach Millett in the second spot. He's got Mark Truxell taking a peek to the bottom.
Yeah, Mark actually got a pretty good restart there to be on older tires. Millett battling for that second position. I don't think it'll last too long. I think Millett will take it over. Mark's battling, though, pretty hard right there. Right when I say it, Millett doesn't, and he goes for the lead right here.
Had a good run out of turn number 4. He's side by side with Channing Ballou down into turn 1. Remember, Ballou on a little bit older tires. Millett's going to take advantage, probably take this over and clear the 9 out of turn 2. He does. Ballou's going to have a run, though. He might battle back. We'll see what he does. Lap 75 of 110, 86 to go. Sorry, not 86, 36 to go. Where did I get 86 from? Oh, Lord. At the stripe, Millett leads it. Bigger battles going on back here. Brian McCann all over the back bumper of Brian Rose. Truxell slides up the track.
Yeah, I think Brian Rose and Truxell both on older tires, so pretty even race there. Brian McCann going to take it 3 wide, and he'll probably just outdrive them down the backstretch here with them fresher tires.
He is on the charge. He is also one that's going to hope this thing stays green, unless he managed to save a set real early on. Don't recall whether he took 4 on that stage break or not. I know he did have to go to the rear on that EOL, and he was able to work his way up through the pack relatively quickly, so I'm going to assume he took tires, and he is out of fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles. Good healthy pack of trucks still on the track.
And this is where it gets a little bit dicey. People with 4 new tires.
No, we're going to go 4 wide. No, we're not. Ooh, Kason Plott took a peek to the inside of Neil Quick, but they were already 3 wide, and Chris Crone slides up the track and gets Mark Truxell. Mark spins it sideways. We got another caution. Big time impact for some of these drivers, just not lifting. Truxell straight to pit lane. His race likely over. Get a look and see what triggered it. We were kind of watching it live. This group was, we'll go back a little further. I want to show that 4 wide that was about to happen that didn't. Again, this is out of turn number 4. Truxell top side, then it's Chris Goins, and then Neil Quick on the bottom. But Quick slides up a little bit. Case and Plot with a good run. Thought about taking it 4 wide. Jumps it down to the apron. They really are 4 wide here for a brief moment, but Quick tries to close the door. I don't know if he just didn't see Kaysen or not, but either way, the 19 aware of it. So that's that situation, but now we watch the 5 of Truxell. He's racing with the 28 of Chris Goins. The issue happens, I believe, down into turn 1. Looks like Goins may have lost the nose and slid up the racetrack. We'll have to see here. They're already nice and tight here, close together. Still 3 wide, Quick on the bottom. I'm going to back it up. I don't know if there was contact with Goins and Quick, or just very close. No contact. I think Chris was trying to avoid it, but then he comes up the track and gets a piece of Truxell, sends the 5 into the fence. But now you see Mark spinning, hitting our safer barrier here. You still got guys coming. The caution comes out. Mefford gets a big chunk. Fahey gets a big chunk, just drills the 5. So now 2 cars have run him over after the fact. And another one, I think it's the 00. I can't tell the number from this angle. But Truxell becomes a pinball. So we're going to jump out, get one more break out of the way. We'll be back with a restart after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Kansas Speedway, the Noble Racing Series, Kansas City 165. Zach Millett, Alfie Charon, going to bring it down to a green flag here. Restart coming under our 4th caution of the day.
Is that our last?
I don't think so. Business has picked up. Guys are becoming more aggressive. Channing Ballou back in the 12th position. Looks like he did opt to pit this time. Did take his 4 tires, so he's out of tires. Be fun to watch him work his way up through the field here. Again, mixed match drivers here. Millett out front, lap 64. Same for Charon and Brian McCann. Lap 70 for Neil Quick. And then you got a bunch of lap 79s that have pitted 4 tires this time. All kinds of strategies at play. It's going to be fun to watch here as Pace Truck pulls off out of turn number 4. We're going to be back under the green flag. Millet gets the jump. We're back underway.
The 51 went to go. I don't know if you noticed that, and then he had to brake a little bit, and it killed his restart.
Alfie Charon trying to time it, just couldn't quite make it work. Brian McCann up into the second spot. Charon slides back to P4.
Chris Goins right here near the front after that contact with Truxell earlier.
Battle for the lead across the line here. Looks like Brian McCann. Nope, Millet's still going to lead it, but hot and heavy here contending for the top spot. Brian McCann, Zach Millet battling for the lead here. Lap 84. Down into turn 3, McCann still not clear of the 315. Millet slips a bit in the corner, slides up the track and allow the 3 to clear. He slings back down, tries to cross the advance of Neil Quick, but goes way to the bottom of the apron. Slides back up across. This looks like Dale Jr. at Talladega years ago.
I think Millet may have wanted to do a crossover there, but Neil Quick was right there.
Kason Plott back into the frame. He's behind the 2 of Quick on the tailgate of the Sim Magic R&R Racewear machine. Alfie Charon hanging tough there in the 5th spot. Kason Plott takes a peek. I don't know if there was some contact there with Millet and Quick. It was close if not. Flying in formation and contact with Charon and Plott. Plott saves it, goes back to the bottom, doesn't lose any track position, but here comes Channing Ballou. Real loose out of turn number 2, keeps it straight. Side by side for position with Zach Millet. Again, Channing, the freshest tires in the field, just ran the fastest lap of the day, a 31.05 for the 9 of Ballou in traffic. Millet trying to work the draft as well. Took a sniff off the back bumper of the 9, slides back to the outside. Now he's got a run. Neil Quick trying to build a run topside on Kason Plott. Plott closes the door. 24 laps to go from Kansas. Channing Ballou now battling teammate Kason Plott for the 2nd position. Slides up the track. Almost contact. Here they go. Racing hard with each other again. Unbelievable action here at the front of the field. Whoever said this was boring, you're not watching anymore.
These guys are definitely putting on a show, and this 9 and 19 still battling, trying to both be able to be in that 2nd position to run McCann down.
Remember, Brian McCann had to start this second half of this race from the tail end of the field. He's gone once again from worst to first.
Uh-oh, somebody's making a move here. Blues.
I don't know if Brian made a mistake, but Channing does have a little bit fresher tires. We talked about it early on. Ballou pit the last caution. That was lap 79. Brian McCann, lap 64. Still 22 laps to go, but I think Channing's going to check out here. Kason looking to the inside for the 2nd spot.
Yeah, Blue looks awful fast right now.
Coming to 20 laps to go. Channing still out in front, half-second back to Brian McCann. Brian still defending well against Kason Plott. 6-lap tire difference between the 3 and the 19.
I know Brian Rose was talking earlier that 8 laps made a big difference, so I'm sure 6 is making a difference as well.
Plott takes the spot away. Neil Quick going to try and do the same. He's going to follow the 19 down into turn number 1, but Brian McCann goes down to the bottom of the track here. He's been able to make that work. We have seen that as the tires wear with these trucks here at Kansas, that hasn't necessarily been the best place to be. The passing has been happening up top later on in the run. Bottom on the fresh rubber. Keaton Burnett into the 4th position. He's closed down. He's trying to fight Neil Quick here for P3.
Neil Quick may be making a move here on Plot. Goes Burnett again to the inside of Neil Quick. He may be able to pull it off here. He's battling with Plot for the 2nd position.
Keaton Burnett on a charge. His last pit stop's lap 79. Same strategy as leader Channing Ballou. 17 laps to go here. Channing stretching it out a full second back to this battle. Kason Plot up top. Keaton Burnett down low. Tucks back in behind the 19. Now Neil Quick tries to cross down to the bottom. He wants that 3rd position back. Keaton stays topside. 9-lap tire difference between Keaton Burnett and Neil Quick. You can kind of pinch Keaton in there and block him in. Doesn't make it pay here. He has to tuck back in behind the 26. Keaton going to try and cool things down tire-wise and maybe go at the 19 later on one more time. He's got time to do it. 15 and a half laps to go as he worked the back straightaway.
If you're Channing Blue watching all this, are you kind of maybe not 100% right now?
Oh,
saving
absolutely.
A little bit?
He's going to try and get some distance. But, I mean, these Speed Clinic guys, not only are they fast, but they're able to be fast and still save.
How about Drew Blaze all the way back up to 5th position right now?
And is anybody really surprised? Drew Blaze on a tear. His stop also the same strategy as the leader, so he's got fresh tires to work with too. And 15 more laps to work with him. Keep an eye on the 1 here. He's going to end up, well, he's already top 5 here, but he's going to be beating down the door of Neil Quick here any minute. Keaton Burnett goes back to the inside, trying to take the 2nd spot from Kason Plot. Kason way up the racetrack. He's going to have a big-time run out of 2. Kason's just the master of defending. Keaton did not get a good run out of the corner. Now Drew Blaze is going to take Neil Quick and Keaton, it looks like, in 3 and 4. Drew Blaze up to P3.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Keaton there. He lost a lot of momentum.
I don't know if he had a lift. He was starting to lose the nose or what happened. Again, Kason talked about it in the stage interview about how clean air was so important. Might have gotten a little bit of the 19's dirty air. Might have caused him to slide the nose. Jesse Redding up top side. Oh boy, these guys are just trying to avoid. 3-truck battle for the 2nd spot. Drew Blaze to the inside of Kason Plot. Looks like he's going to get it done. Still not quite clear. Now Kason and Keaton up top side going to be able to run, but slide job coming from the 1 up the top of the track. We talked about that dirt background. There's the slide job from Drew Blaze. Keaton Burnett going to cross it up. He's going to follow the 1 to the bottom. Maybe that's going to help it. Kason Plot up on the high lane. Sliding the nose is Keaton Burnett. Oh, side by side out of turn 4. Almost contact with the 26 and the 19. Great battle here with 11 laps to go for the 3rd position. Drew Blaze has gone to P2. Kason Plot still P3. Keaton Burnett putting on a hell of a performance here, but just cannot dispose of the 19.
That was a fantastic job of both of them not getting into each other. I think Keaton was trying his hardest to clear him there and just kept trying to kind of pushing both of them up the track there, but great job by these two.
Blue still 1.1 seconds out in front from Drew Blaze. That deficit has shrunk slightly over the last couple of laps, but maybe a tenth and a half. Nothing to be too concerned with if you're a 9 fan. Channing Ballou coming to 9 laps to go.
We know Drew's going to give it everything he has to catch him. And Blue's probably done a little bit better saving his tires up, as Blaze has had to fight to get to where he's at.
Brian Rose running in the 7th position. Remember, he was back in P30 earlier on in this race. He's having to contend with Zach Millett. Millett running 8th. Again, their teammates as well. As this race gets further and further towards the end, they're going to race harder and harder for those positions.
I think Brian may have a little bit fresher tires than Zach.
Lap 79 for Brian Rose, 4 tires. Lap 64 for Zach Millett. Of those that pit on lap 64, it's Brian McCann and Zach Millett, the only 2 left in the top 10. Everyone else P12 and further down.
As you see McCann sitting there battling with Neil Quick right now.
These 2 guys very familiar with each other from the IROC series. Might have been some contact with Case and Plot there. Don't know if they made it or not, but either way, big reaction out of the 2 off of turn number 4. It's allowed Millett and Brian Rose to close in. Now we've got a battle for position between 4 trucks.
These guys are putting the trucks everywhere and doing a great job of it right now.
Tell you, keep watching up front though. Channing Ballou, though he does continue to lead. It's now 7 to 8 tenths of a second. The deficit back to Drew Blaze. Last lap, a 10th slower was Channing Ballou to Drew Blaze. We'll see if he's got time to catch him. I don't know. It's going to be close.
If it's a 10th a lap, he needs to pick it up just a little bit. A lot of wiggling now to the 315 coming down the back stretch right there.
I think Zach is fighting that truck for everything it's going to give him here, again on older tires.
He's doing a great job. I mean, battling with Brian Rose on the older tires as he clears Brian, and now on the back end of the 19 of Plot.
Big block from Case and Plot there down into turn number 1. Millett tried to cross him over, but the block came too late in the corner for him to do much with it. Big wiggle for Brian Rose and Neil Quick.
I thought the 89 of Rose had just took Quick into the wall right there. That was close.
4 laps to go, half a second between Ballou and Blaze. Still watching this battle between Case and Plot and Zach Millett. This would be for the 5th position. Millett might have Kaysen taken care of here. Slides up the racetrack. Plot's coming. Millett needed to be more aggressive there. Gave him the top lane with a head of steam coming. He might have gotten the bump either way, but man, you can't let that door be that wide open. Kaysen was behind. Millett had him clear and didn't slam the door shut. Kaysen takes the spot back. Move the 19 back to P5. Meanwhile, 3 laps to go. It's 3.5 tenths between Channing Ballou and Drew Blaze. And shrinking.
I think Blaze is going to get there. I just don't know if he can do it.
He might be able to catch Channing, but he's going to be awfully tough to pass. Less than 2 laps to go. They're into turn 1. Channing Ballou has dominated a lot this second half of this race. Continues to lead. The top 2 have stretched it out to 3 seconds back to the 26 of Keaton Burnett. It's a quarter-second advantage for Ballou down into turn number 3. I think Ballou finally put the pedal back to the floor. Might have been saving his stuff. We talked about that. Don't need to run too hard until it's time to run hard. White flag in the air. 3 tenths back to Drew Blaze. Channing Ballou with the lead. Ballou starting from the 3rd position here this evening. Slowly but surely worked his way to the front of the field. Got a healthy margin of 0.3 back to the 1 of Drew Blaze. It shrinks to 0.2. Drew drove it in deep, but it's not going to be enough. Checkered flag at Kansas. Channing Ballou, your winner of the Kansas City 165. Drew Blaze, huge run. Started 28th, finishes P2. Keaton Burnett, solid top 3 finish for the 26. Ryan McCann was 4th. Cason Plott 5th. Ryan Rose, P6. Justin Johnson, 7th. Zach Millett 8th, Neil Quick 9th, Thomas McMullen P10. Trading Paints is all messed up. You can clearly see that Channing is in the correct truck, but it's still displaying that number 26. That's all right. We all know who won. Channing Ballou in that Reaper Speed Labs number 9. Great performance here tonight. Channing parks it on the front stretch. Let's see if he throws the donuts down.
I think he's just going to park it there.
No wild celebration for Channing Ballou. We're going to jump out here, take a break. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back to Kansas Speedway. The Kansas City 165 is complete. Channing Ballou, your race winner. We're going to try and pull the driver of the 9 up into the broadcast booth and get a word with him. Channing Ballou, it's Steve and Eric Dotson in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Channing, congratulations. A dominating second half of the race, a decent qualifying run, just untouchable there. It seemed that Drew Blaze was starting to close down the gap. Last couple of laps made it somewhat close, but then you kicked the afterburners on and just kind of maintain that gap and take the checkered flag, man. Walk us through your race strategies coming in and your thoughts going into next week.
Yeah, the strategy was all night. It was to get clean air. Early in the first stage was just to push whoever was in front of me and try to get away from the pack, and we figured out real quick I couldn't do that. So I burnt my tires up and kind of nipped the wall a couple of times. So that didn't help in the first stage. Still got good stage points though. Once we got the first stage caution, we pitted, put 4 tires on it, and it was just kind of, I'm getting clean air, and I'm getting it early because later on in the run it was impossible to pass. This track, yes, Drew was making up time on me at the end, but he was never going to be able to get around me with the run that the outside gets. But all in all, couldn't ask for a better race. I mean, I wish it would have wish we had had another tire set. I feel like we're really kind of putting ourselves in this bind with only having 2 tires. And that was the only reason why I won the race, is because I took my tires later than everybody and I was able to go and run wide open longer, which, I mean, these 1.5 miles is huge if you can get out front and get clean air and put 0.8 to a second on everybody. If they run you down, they're not going to pass you. But yeah, I mean, overall it was a pretty good race, pretty clean. We stayed up front, so as long as we do that, we'll stay out of trouble.
Seemed that the top 3 all pit at lap 79 for their tires. The highest finishing driver that did not do that was Brian McCann. He pitted lap 64, so about a 15 lap difference between top 3 and P4. Brian, I don't know how he did it. That's a big gap between tire changes, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too helped him, that to help keep him in that spot. It was, how many green flag laps are on those tires? Maybe 6 or 7.
Right.
You throw in them caution laps in there, and it kind of saves him face a little bit. So, man, I don't know if adding another tire set throws another wrinkle in it or what, or make the races long. I'm not sure. But we're in this box right now where you have to take tires last, and hopefully you have enough track position and start close enough to the front that it matters. I mean, next week, throw that all out the window. We're going to a road course. I'm not going to be anywhere near the front. I'll be lucky to be on the track. So I hate road courses. So just putting that out there. If anybody's expecting the 9 truck to be up front, I'm sorry, it won't be next week.
So it's very interesting because a lot of times you get these guys with crazy pace on some of these ovals that, though they may not like road racing, they still tend to do okay at them. So you're coming out here saying right away you just do not like it?
No, I enjoy it, but I think the sim does a terrible job of replicating what the actual feel of a race car is and how it, the tires, man, just the grip factor on a road course just feels way off. I mean, I'm okay at Watkins Glen and Sonoma because the NASCAR schedule goes there, but now that we keep adding all these other road courses, I haven't sat down and learned them. So I don't take this the wrong way. I don't care to learn them. I think that's a terrible route for the sport. I think we need to go back to, last week, take the sim portion out of it. Bristol's a really good racetrack. Richmond's a really good racetrack. We need another sort of short track in there that's, good enough, or we need a mile racetrack. I'll tell you a great racetrack on this sim, and everybody's scared of it, is Rockingham. It burns tires up. It makes you have to be, conservative, but there's also 2 grooves. You can run the bottom in 3 and 4. You can run the top. It's, it's a really, and you can run the top 1 and 2 also, but I think it's a great racetrack that everybody on this sim is kind of scared to touch because they know it eats tires up.
It is certainly a great racetrack. I've called a couple races there. I think they were both ARCA cars. It put on a great show, to be honest, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Shreds the tires. You really have to take care of them if you're going to be anywhere near the front later on in one of those races. So, Channing, again, congratulations on the win here tonight. Good luck next week. We're going to let you go. Is there anyone you want to shout out to?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I got to thank everybody over at ReaperSpeedLab.com. They've got incredible C Open, A Open, B Open setups. Also, their Road to Pro setup is flying. Last week, I won a bunch of races on it. Also ran really well in my Road to Pro and potentially could have won. Luckily didn't go that way. But got to also thank Higgy's House of Power. Go check him out. He builds motors for flat cart, dirt oval. Also, Kale Gale Performance. They've got he builds shocks and stuff for all your asphalt late models, dirt late models, all any sort of short track car. And then everybody over at Speed Clinic we had a pretty good night. Not like we wanted, but we had a pretty good night.
All right, Channing. Well, again, thanks for talking to us. Certainly good luck next week out at Sonoma.
Yes, sir, Steve. Y'all have a good one.
Two. It's Channing Blue, your race winner here at Kansas Speedway. Next, we're going to go to Drew Blaze, coming out of nowhere. Played his cards right, played the strategy right, found himself here with a runner-up finish. Drew Blaze, it's Steve and Eric in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You with us?
Yes, sir.
Drew, congratulations, man. A strong run. 26 positions gained throughout the race. Certainly the hard charger of the night. Finished P2. You were closing down on Channing Blue there late. Got it to about 2.5 tenths. Anything you could have done to get any closer to Channing, or was it just a matter of kind of beat up those tires too much in some dirty air?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing everything I could. There's really not too much else that I could have done. I feel like I really did everything that I could, but I was just trying to get close enough there to, I'm a dirt guy at my core, and if I had a, good enough space to throw a slide job, I was going to throw it.
Well, we were actually talking about you throughout the course of the race, just talking about how there were so many different lines being utilized by drivers and how that could potentially yield a bit of a benefit to some guys with a dirt background, being used to hunting different lines and finding where the truck's going to be fastest at. Did that come into play for you at all tonight?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was saving tires most of the race, but I also found that, that low line, especially in 3 and 4, I was really comfortable in, and I could get a good run on guys. And, once it seemed like everybody was trending towards the top, and I was staying down at the bottom, and they were just kind of using their tires up too much up there, getting too much heat in them. So I just stayed low pretty much the whole race, I feel like. And, it kind of worked out for me, especially on that last run there. I felt like I was, really passing guys on the bottom.
Well, super impressive run nonetheless. Again, 26 positions gained throughout the course of the race. Not quite enough for a win, but a P2, I'm certainly sure that you will take it here in this league. Next week, we run out to Sonoma, first road course of the season. I know it's not necessarily your cup of tea, but you've put in the work here, whether it's in a GT car or other ways on these road courses. What are your thoughts rolling into Sonoma next week?
Yeah, I've done a couple I've run the truck on Sonoma a couple times, and it's a pretty good road course, so I felt comfortable on it. So I'll do some practice and see what we got, and if I feel like I'm up to par and I can, kind of keep myself at least on the track, I think I'll be here.
That's all you can ask for. Keep it between the lines and out of the grass, or out in Sonoma, out of the sandbox. Again, congratulations on P2, Drews. We're going to let you go here. Is there anyone you want to shout out to?
Just got to thank all my guys at Lone Star Racing. Everybody did great today, with the exception of Mike Fahey. I don't know what happened there, but it's Mike Fahey. I mean, what are you gonna do? But no, I love all my guys over there. Got to thank Garza Law Firm, In the Draft Podcast, Justin Johnson, Mike Fahey, Keaton Burnett, just all my guys. Love them to death. Couldn't do it without any of them. And thank you for putting on the broadcast as always.
All right, Drew. Well, thanks for the kind words, man. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
It's Drew Blaze, your race winner. Next, we're going to go to good old Keaton Burnett. Get a chat here with the driver of the number 26 machine, Keaton Burnett. Steve and Eric in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Keaton, congratulations, man. A top 3 finish here in the No Bull Racing Series. Well done, sir. You were on a tear tonight. Aggressive, fast, and a top 3 finish. Again, nicely done. Congratulations. Walk us through your race. Tell us how you got here.
I honestly don't know how to get here. A lot of it, which I was qualified in 13th, and I kind of stayed up and around the top 10 the whole race, but a lot of it came down to the strategy at the end. We wound up staying out at that caution on lap 60 and saving the tires, and it did pay off for me and Drew pretty well in the end. So
certainly
it was
go ahead, Keaton. Sorry.
It was a fun ride. That last 30 laps or so, having to battle everyone, and I was getting kind of worried towards the end that I might get caught up to, because I was not trying to save tires at all in that last run.
Well, it certainly seemed to pay off. The tire strategy pitting on lap 79 when the top 3 drivers did paid off really for all 3 of you. We talked about Brian McCann. His stop came at lap 64. He was able to get all the way to the end of this thing on that set of tires. Granted, there were some cautions that kind of mixed things up a bit. But either way, it seems that the strategy that paid off the most was indeed to save that set till as late as you could go. Obviously, you don't know when those cautions are going to fall, but y'all made the decision at the right time, and it paid off here. You're sitting with the top 3 finish. Nice job.
Appreciate it.
So I'll ask you the same thing I asked our top 2. Next week, we go to Sonoma Raceway, the first road course of the season. I know you've put some work into road racing, be it in a GT car or otherwise. What are your thoughts about going out there in the truck next week?
I'm trying to go in with a bit of optimism. I'm not the best on road courses, but I'm going to go out and give it a shot. And if I wind up not doing so hot, you can at least get some highlights of me drifting around the track.
I remember the last time, I think it was last season in Scar, I think we guys ran the Glen, and you spent the majority of that practice just drifting.
Yeah, if nothing else, I'll at least have a whole lap of drifting in during practice that I can brag about.
All right, Keaton. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. We wish you the best of luck next week out at Sonoma. Who do you want to shout out to before you go?
Well, I got to shout out my team, Lone Star Racing. We all had a pretty good night, except for Fahey. Like Drew said, he just seems to attract trouble sometimes, especially in this league.
Well, again,
and then
sorry, go ahead.
And I got to shout out 145 Stakeout. I'm sure they'll be happy to watch this tomorrow night since they're closed Sundays. And then I got Fahey Race Wrap, Scars Law Firm, and then a shout out HBR too for broadcasting this every Sunday.
All right, Keaton. Well, we do appreciate it, man. Again, good luck next week out at Sonoma. I think you're going to need it.
Absolutely, I am.
Not saying anything you wouldn't have already said about yourself. Thanks for talking to us, man. Have a good night.
All right, see you, man.
It's Keaton Burnett, your 3rd place finisher here at Kansas Speedway. That's going to wrap it up for our driver interviews. Let's take a look at our race results. Channing Blue, of course, your race winner. Drew Blaze, Keaton Burnett, we all talked to those guys. Brian McCann with a P4. Kason Plott was 5th. Brian Rose, P6. Justin Johnson was the 7th place finisher. 8th went to Zach Millett. 9th, Neil Quick. Thomas McMullen bringing home the 0-2 in a top 10. Alan DeFries, a solid 11th finish. Mark Thomas started dead last, with the exception of Brian McCann and his EOL. Finishes P12. Brian Torsha was 13th. Alfie Charon finished in the 14th spot. 15th position went to Chris Goins. Doug Wysocki was 16th. Eddie Rose was 17th. Eric Beadle, 18th. Noah Rainwater, P19. Jeremy Paris finished back in the 20th spot. Not a finish indicative of his night. He was up near the front for the majority of that time. Carson Conway was 21st. Tristan Sykes, 22nd. Jesse Redding, 23rd. Chris Elliott, 24th. 25th went to Chris Mefford. Mark Truxell, 26th. Mike Fahey, 27th. Steve Sherrick was 28th, Will Hewitt 29th, Brandon Mefford 30th, Matt Goodell 31st, Kevin McCann 32nd, and Chris Mathis 33rd, 79 laps down. Not sure what happened there with Chris Mathis, but nonetheless, not a finish that he wanted. Absolutely sure about that. Want to take a look at the points standings. This was coming into the night, and for whatever reason, it won't display. We're having a ton of issues with this as of late, but if you bear with me for just a moment, we should be able to get that squared away. There we go. Brian McCann, your points leader, coming in to tonight. Of course, next week things will be switched up here. This is pre-race point standings, but it gives you a glimpse as to where everybody is stacking up. Brian McCann, Channing Ballou, Brian Rose, Neil Quick, Brandon Mefford, the top 5 in the points. Then it was Zach Millett, Kason Plott, David Bradford, who was not here tonight, so he's going to fall a bit in the standings. Jerry Paris, 9th. Kevin McCann, 10th. Keaton Burnett, 11th. He'll get a jump out of this. Eric Beadle, 12th. Thomas McMullen, 13th. Doug Wysocki, 14th. Matt Goodell, 15th. Mark Truxell, 16th. Mike Fahey, 17th. And Jesse Redding in the 18th position. Those are the displayed point standings for now. Again, we'll get these updated between now and the next race out at Sonoma for everyone to look at before we go racing next week. But lastly, I want to say thank you guys all for tuning in and watching tonight. Thanks for Eric Dotson for jumping up into the broadcast booth with us as always. Eric, you've got a race coming up here pretty soon. I think you're going to miss with us. Is that correct?
Yeah, it will be in 2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks. So at least I'll have you for the road course out at Sonoma, because sometimes that one can be tough with only one broadcaster. But I do appreciate your help, as always. You do a wonderful job up here as our analyst in the booth. Couldn't do it without you, man. Again, you guys out there in the stream, thanks for watching. Thanks for jumping in the stream chat. And if you haven't already done so, give us a like, a follow, share, subscribe, turn on the notifications, facebook.com/HBRTV1, and the streams themselves, youtube.com/@HBRTV and the number 1. Please follow along there. We just got past 500 subscribers, so slowly but surely we're working our way upward. Couldn't do it without you guys being here. Without the fans, there's no reason for us to broadcast these things. So once again, big shout out to all of you. For Eric Dotson, I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, saying once again, thank you for watching. Congratulations to Channing Ballou winning the Kansas City 165. Tune in next week for the road course at Sonoma. Have a good night.